Hello, welcome back to the next unit, which is performance management. And since this is a lengthy topic, we are actually going to divide this entire unit of performance management into three different parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. All the topics that we are going to discuss throughout these three parts, that means in the entire performance management, are mentioned here for your reference. And all the topics that we are going to discuss in today's class, the part 1 of performance management, are also mentioned here for your reference. Now, let's get into the class. So before directly entering into today's concept, that is part 1 of performance management, let us understand certain basics first. See, we have an entire dedicated subject called as performance management systems, which entirely concentrates on different aspects related to performance management. Now, we are not dealing with an entire subject of performance management. Here, we are discussing performance management as a part of the subject human resource management. So we will not be covering all the, that means each and every individual topic in detail here, but we will be covering certain fundamentals or basics related to performance management in this session of performance management. So let's start with the basics of today's class. So let's start with the concept performance. What do you mean by performance? See, we can refer this particular term performance, or basically we can use this particular term performance in many situations. We can tell an organization's overall performance, we can tell a particular department's performance, we can tell a particular employee's performance, or we can basically summarize the human resource, the performance of the entire human resource in the organization, right? So basically, in general, when we talk about in employee point of view or in human resource perspective, basically performance is the output delivered by the human resource in an organization, right? Leave organizational performance. Organizational performance means the output of the organization. Leave that. Now we are talking about human resource performance, right? So performance generally refers to the output that is delivered by the human resource in an organization, right? Now this particular performance that is given by or performance that is generated by the human resource in an organization will further have an impact on the overall organization's performance. Now this is basically performance in general sense. The output that is given or the output that is delivered by the employees or the human resource in an organization is generally termed as performance. Basically, in any organization, employees are given certain targets, right? That is basically a job, right? That is basically how the organization system works, right? Each and every employee has his own targets. Now these particular targets are generally referred as performance standards. That means the expected outcomes from the employees or the expected outcomes from the human resource in an organization are generally termed as performance standards. Now these expected outcomes or the performance standards set to the human resource in an organization can have two different components or two different things, or standards related to two different things. Now the performance standards set to the human resource in an organization are basically, see, in simple terms, if I am the CEO of an organization and I have certain number of employees. Now me as a CEO of the organization, setting performance standards to them may include standards in two different aspects. Now I can give them performance standards or I can give them targets related entirely to results. That means let's take an example of a sales guy. If I'm CEO of a company, I can call a sales guy and tell that, see, I'm giving you a target of selling 100 mobiles per month or 1000 mobiles per year. In this way, that is one aspect where I am setting the performance standards to the employees in entire results point of view. Now there is this behavioral aspect or performance standards related to behaviors. Like, let's take the same example. I am the CEO of the company and there is this sales guy. Now I can tell him that, see, your monthly target or yearly target related to sales is this. That is the results component. Now I will also tell that, see, we have been observing that you are coming to office late, or we have been observing that you are mean to your customers sometimes. Now try to improve that. The next time we are going to have a meeting, or the next time we are going to have a discussion relating to your performance, we should also see a positive change in your behavior towards your colleagues, or in your behavior towards your customers, or in your office timings. The change in your office timings, you should be coming on time to the office. In this way, all these things relate to the behavioral component. So basically what I'm trying to tell is, see, performance standard in any organization can include either the results aspect or behavioral aspect, or in some cases both. Okay, so this is basically performance and performance standards, right? Now let's move to the name of the concept, performance management. See, till now we are clear about what do you mean by performance in general, and how in organizations this particular performance is managed through performance standards. That means basically in organization, every human resource or every employee is given certain performance standards, and it is expected that they deliver that that particular performance standards, right? Now moving to the concept performance management. Now, what do you mean by performance management? See, when we started with this particular entire subject of human resource management, what did we discuss when we when we tried to find the answer to the question, what do you mean by human resource management? We told that in simple terms, human resource management means managing the human resource in an organization in an effective as well as efficient manner, right? Similarly, performance management means the management of the performances of the human resource in an organization in an efficient and effective manner, right? Now, see, this is the basic concept of performance management in simple terms. I have given each and everything in simple terms. Now, basically, this particular performance management is considered as a strategic tool to organizations, and also this particular performance management is a process. That means it follows a sequence of steps. Okay. Now, let's move to the theoretical definitions so that you could use them as reference, and then we will move on to the further concepts. Now let's get with the theoretical definitions of this particular performance management. You're clear, right? We told what do you mean by performance in general. The output that is delivered by the human resource in an organization is generally termed as the human resource performance in an organization. Now, I also told that, see, this performance can be viewed from different aspects. You can tell that, the employee's performance, the organization's performance, the entire human resource performance in an organization, a particular department's performance. But here, in this particular subject of human resource management, we are talking about, human resource perspective. Okay, so we are talking about the performance of the human resource in an organization. Okay, now we also told that in organizations, basically human resource are given certain targets related to their performance. Okay, now these targets are generally referred as performance standards. Now the performance standards that are communicated or that are expected to be achieved by the human resource in an organization can relate to either the results or either the behavior or both. Okay, now till here we saw the basic general understanding related to what do you mean by performance. Now we move to performance management, where we told that, see, in simple terms, performance management is a process where the performance of the human resource in an organization is managed in order to utilize the human resource in an organization in an efficient way and an effective way. Now, managing the performance of the human resource in an organization so that they are utilized in an efficient and effective manner definitely has an impact on the overall organization's performance, right? Now, see, when you're concentrating on improving the performance of the employees or improving the performance of the human resource in an organization, you're indirectly contributing towards improving the performance of the overall organization, right? That is the thing that you have to keep in your mind. Now let's move to the theory, where we will be looking at the definitions of performance management just for your reference. The seventh unit, performance management, and the first part today, we'll be talking about the introduction and concepts relating to performance management. Now, let's start with the definition of performance management. You understood all the basic things that we have discussed till now, right? I just tried to give you the basic understanding of the term performance, and in organization, how is this performance treated, and what do you mean by performance management in general. Now, performance management is defined as a strategic and integrated approach to increase the effectiveness of the organizations or companies by improving the performance of the people who work in them and by developing the capabilities of teams and individual contributors. So we are telling that, see, this particular thing called as, or this particular concept called as performance management is a strategic tool that is used by the organizations in order to increase the overall efficiency or effectiveness of the organizations by concentrating on improving the overall performance of the human resource in an organization. Okay, that is one of the definition of performance management. Let's look at the second definition of performance management. See, performance management can be defined as a systematic process. That means it's a process which involves a sequence of steps to improve the organizational performance by developing the performance of the individuals and the teams working within an organization. The same thing but conveyed in a different manner. Now, it is a means of getting better results from the organization, team, and individuals by understanding and managing their performance within a framework of planned goals, standards, and competence requirements. So this is here what we are telling is, see, basically this particular concept of performance management is a sequential process, or it is a systematic process. Okay, now this is a systematic process whereby The same thing as the previous definition. The overall organization's efficiency or effectiveness is improved by concentrating on the improvement of the overall performance of the human resource in an organization. Now we are actually telling that all this thing is done by concentrating on the organization's performance, the team's performance, the individual's performance. That means the overall performance. Okay. Now this is the basic definition of performance management. Now let's move to the further concepts. See, let us understand the answer to the question why performance management, or what is the basic purpose of this concept performance management, or why should we learn this performance management, or what are we getting out from this concept of performance management. Now this concept, this particular performance management has several purposes. The first and foremost purpose of this particular concept of performance management is to ensure that the performance of the human resource in an organization is utilized in an effective and efficient manner. Now what do you mean by utilizing the performance of a utilizing the performance of the employees in an effective and efficient manner? What do we mean by that? See, when we tell that we are trying to utilize the human resource in an organization, the performance of the human resource in an organization in an efficient and effective manner, we are basically trying to convey that, see, we are trying to concentrate on different ways in which we can we can extract more good performance, or more performance from the employees through different means. You can either identify the low level performers or low performance in the organization and try to concentrate on them, try to reduce the gaps and try to boost that. Or you can basically try to you can basically see that each and everyone's potential is used up to his full capacity. Or you can also concentrate on certain aspect, telling that let us see if there is any scope of improvising the performance of the employees or human resource in an organization. Or in simple terms, let us see if we can do something that that increases the performance of the human resource in an organization. Now the second purpose, the second important thing that we learn from this particular concept of performance management is monitoring. That means this particular concept of performance management also ensures the monitoring part. That means ensuring that each and everything is going according to the required standards or not. That means, see, basically in the initial part I told you that each and every employee in an organization is given certain performance standards, or in simple terms, certain performance levels or certain performance outputs or certain degrees of performance is expected from each and every human resource or each and every employee in an organization, right? Now by using this performance management system, we ensure that the employee's performance is matching the required performance, or the the performance standards that is communicated to him. So this is also another purpose served by this concept of performance management. That means in this concept of performance management, the first and foremost thing that we do is, see, ensuring that the human resource in an organizations are there in performance point of view, they are utilized in an effective and efficient manner. That means we are concentrating on if there are any underlying low level performers or low level performances, concentrating on them, how to improve them, all these things. And we are also concentrating on the different ways in which we can actually improve the performance levels. Even though they are good, try to improve, or basically try to extract more good levels of performance in the organization or in the human resource in the organization. And we also concentrate on seeing that are we trying to utilize the complete potential of the human resource in an organization. What are the different things that we can do in order to engage the human resource in the organization, so that they could put in their complete potential. In this way, this the first purpose, the first concept that we use this performance management for tells this. And we also, through this subject of performance management, ensure the monitoring part, ensure that whether everything is going according to the preset standards or not. In this way, there are so many different purposes, or there are so many different things that are given by this concept performance management. Okay, so you are clear till here, right? Now let's move on to the further topics. So till now we are just looking at the basic thing. We started by what is performance standards, performance management in general, performance management definition, and then we moved on to why performance management, or what is the importance of this particular concept of performance management, or what are the different things that we can do using this concept of performance management, right? So now let's move on to the next thing, performance management and other concepts. So basically, let us talk about the relationship between performance management and other different concepts or other different subjects. Let us see how can we relate this particular or basically how can we link this performance management with other different concepts or other different subjects. Now let's start with the basic thing, the relation or the linkage between human resource management and performance management. See, in the initial parts of this subject, while we are discussing about the introduction of human resource management in an organization, now what did we tell about the human resource management? How did we define human resource management in simple terms? We defined human resource management in simple terms, telling that human resource management is nothing but the management of human resource in an organization in an effective and efficient manner. Now, there we told that managing of human resource in an organization, that means the entire management part of the human resource in an organization. Now, when we talk about managing the human resource in an organization, it can be in different dimensions. It can be from different perspectives. That means you can manage the human resource in an organization in compensations perspective, in legal compliance perspective, in performance perspective, in developmental perspective, in training perspective. In this way, there are so many different aspects in which you can manage the employees in an organization or the human resource in an organization. Now, the overall thing, if you combine all the different concepts or subjects or different things, processes, all these things, which whose basic concentration is on the management of employees, then it forms the subject human resource management. We discussed this right now. Basically, again discussing again, human resource management means managing of human resource in an organization in an effective and efficient manner. Now, that particular management of human resource in an organization can be from different perspectives, and one of the perspective is trying to manage the human resource in an organization from performance point of view or in performance perspective. That is where this particular concept of performance management comes into picture. That is human resource management, managing the human resource on an entirety, whereas this particular performance management gives us detailed information or gives us detailed concepts related to management of human resource in an organization in performance point of view. Here our basic focus is on the performance of the human resource in an organization. There our focus is on the entire management of the human resource in an organization. That is basically the interrelationship between human resource management, performance management. And I also told you human resource management is the superset of all the concepts or all the subjects which basically move towards managing the human resource in an organization. So basically this particular concept of performance management is the subset of human resource management. Okay, keep that point aside. Now we just saw human resource management and performance management. Now let's look at performance management and various other different other concepts or various other different subjects that I already told you are subsets of the human resource management. See, for example, when we move to the further parts of this performance management, we will be telling that there is this process of performance management where you basically so many different things happen, like you assign certain performance standards or targets to the employees. In simple words, you assign performance target performance standards to the employees. They they keep working on those performance standards, or they keep trying to achieve those performance standards, and you will continuously be monitoring whether everything is going according to the plan or everything is going according to the prefixed schedule or not. And finally, after a certain period of time, there is this thing called as performance appraisal, which in simple terms is like a is like a communication meeting where the communication between the employer and the employee happens, relating entirely to the performance of the employee throughout that particular period. That is see, all these things are different concepts that we will be discussing. I'm just giving you a basic preview. So in the next concepts, we will be learning all these things. There is this particular process of performance management where all these things happen. You basically go to the employee and set certain performance standards, and he starts working towards them, and you keep on monitoring. And after a fixed period of time, you conduct a session where the employee comes and you both discuss about his performance in the all that throughout that period. And based on the results from that meeting, or basically based on the outcomes from that meeting, certain HR decisions are made. For example, if you are the owner of a company, or if you are the senior most manager in the company who is responsible to take care of the performance of the employees in an organization. So basically what you did, you went out and you assigned different performance standards to each and every employee in the organization. And after certain period, let us consider after 1 year, you told that, see, after 1 year we will be having a meeting where we will be looking at all your pre-assigned targets and all your actual delivery, and we will be comparing them and all these things. So 1 year completed, you are the senior most manager, so you started calling each and every employees for a discussion. telling that okay, bring all your performance, bring all your outputs throughout this year, or basically you on your, on your own will be collecting all the information relating to the employees, performance. Then the employee comes into your cabin and you both will start to have a discussion, a communication relating to his performance, his pre-given standards, and his actual performance that he actually delivered, and you will be measuring them, and you will be seeing if there are any gaps. That means, for example, if you gave a target of producing 100 mobiles to a particular employee, and after 1 year he came. Now initial target that you gave was 100 mobiles. Now there may be various situations, like you gave him an initial target of 100, right? Now there is one possibility where he produced less than 100. There is another possibility where he produced more than 100. There is this third possibility where he produced exactly 100. Now if he produced more than 100, that means you initially gave him a target of 100 mobiles, producing 100 mobiles, he produced more than 100. It's good, right? Now that is one scenario. You initially gave him 100 target, he produced less than 100. That is a kind of bad, right? That means here there is a negative gap, right? Now there is this third scenario. You asked him 100, he exactly gave you 100 target. Now if the target that you have communicated is 100 and he is actually provided exactly 100, that means each and every time when you are giving him certain targets, and he is delivering you the same amount of targets, and if you believe that okay, this kid has potential, if I try to motivate him any further, his performance may increase. Now what you'll do, you'll think that okay, let me give him incentives, let me link his performance to certain incentives, telling that if you, okay, I'm giving you target of 100, you are producing exactly 100. If you try to produce more than 100, for each extra unit I will be paying you this much as an incentive, or this much as a commission. In this way, if in this way you can actually take a decision. So these are one kind of decisions. Now if if the his actual target is 100 and he is producing more than 100, now what you do is, you also do, so you also do plan certain things, telling that okay, this this kid, each and every time I'm giving him 100 as a target, but each and every time he's producing more than his the targets that are communicated to him. So I should do something that his extra enthusiasm does not fall. That means his commitment to exceeding the targets does not fall back. So you plan so many different things, telling that okay, I will give him also incentives, I'll give him a raise, I'll give him a promotion. In this way you will be thinking different things. There is this third scenario, right, where the the targets, the targets that are communicated to the employee are 100, whereas he is not able to produce that 100. Now in this scenario you will also be taking decisions, like, see, in the communication in all the three cases, while the performance appraisal, or basically while the meeting happens, you will be discussing different things. Similarly, come back to this third case where the target is 100 and he is not able to achieve 100. Now you, in the communication room, you'll be discussing so many different things. That means you will be asking him, do you have any reasons for giving low performance and all these things. Now he may say so many different things. He may tell that, see, I have my personal problems, or he may tell that, see, my top management is not supporting me, or he may tell that I'm not trained to do these works and all these things. In this way he can give you so many different reasons. There may also be reasons where he is reckless, or he is simply denying, or he is wantedly producing less number of units. So there may be so many different things that you can get out from that particular communication. That particular performance review meeting, that particular performance review meeting is generally termed as a performance appraisal. We'll learn about that later, but basically I'm trying to tell you that there are so many different things that you can take out from that meeting. Now based on the things that you have taken out from that meeting, there are so many different decisions that you as a senior manager, or you as a person responsible to manage the performance in the organization, take care of. Like, for example, you may come out with a decision telling that I will give him a rise. You may come out with a decision telling that I will promote him. You may come out with a decision that I will give him coaching, counseling, mentoring, or I will provide him training, or simply I will remove him from the job, I will demote him, I will or basically I will shift him to a different department in which where his potential can be utilized, or I will just conduct a motivational program where I will try to motivate him in order to give me more performance or more output. In this way there are so many different things that come out of this particular thing called as performance appraisal, or there are so many different concepts that you further move on from this performance management outcome, the entire performance management's outcome. So that is basically the interlinkage between performance management and all the other concepts. See, here only I told you so many different things, right? See, the person responsible for this performance management in an organization, or basically the organization, after the performance appraisal meeting, or after the formal, performance review meeting comes out with so many different decisions. I told you, right? I told you in certain cases, the organization will decide to give a rise. There we are talking about compensation management. In certain cases, the organization may decide to, give counseling to the employee because he has some certain personal problems. There you are talking about human resource development subject. In human resource development subject, you can also opt for counseling, mentoring, coaching, training, all these things, right? So from the outcomes of the performance management process, from the outcomes of performance appraisal in particular, you will be connecting to different other subjects. That is basically the interlinkage between performance management and different other concepts in this entire human resource aspect or entire human resource perspective. Are you clear? This is the interlinkage between performance management and all other different concepts. Nobody will ask you, but this is just for your general understanding. Now let's move on to the further concepts. So that is performance management and other concepts, the interrelationship. So next, in the definition of performance management, here see, we told that performance management can be defined as a systematic process, right? So basically performance management, this entire performance management in organizations follows a sequence of steps, follows a process. Now let's look at the process, of performance management in an organization. So let us understand the process of performance management. Performance management is a process. This is a typo. So performance management is a process which consists of the following activities. So basically, when when this concept of performance management is in action, or when the performance of the human resource in an organization is being managed, there are so many different activities that happen. Like, see, there is this activity called as planning, which happens. There is this activity called as acting, monitoring, and review. This is not the process, but these are basically the activities that happen during the performance management of the human resource in an organization. Now these different activities, when they are converted or when they are represented in the form of a process, that forms the basic process of performance management, which is the next topic. But basically these are the different activities that happen or that are carried on or that take place while the performance is being managed in the organization. So don't get confused when you get an essay question telling that what are the different activities that happen in performance management and what is the process of performance management. These two are different concepts. They are very similar concepts, very interrelated concepts, but they are actually different concepts. Okay, so basically we are now talking about the different activities that are involved in performance management. So the first activity is planning. That means a planning activity is involved. That means basically the employees targets or the employees standards are planned and they are communicated, right? That is the planning thing. So basically in planning activity, what happens is decide what to do and how to do it. Okay, now the next activity is acting, where once that the performance standards are planned and they are communicated to the employee, what he does, he works on them, right? That is what is acting thing. Now carry out the work needed to implement the plan. That is what happens in this act part. And next in monitor part, what happens is carry out the continuous checks on what is being done and measure outcomes in order to access progress in implementing plan. And what happens in review thing is you are basically reviewing. Okay, so consider what has been achieved, and in the lights of this, establish what more needs to be done and any corrective action required if performance is not in line with the plan. So you may be a bit confused with the language that is used here. So basically we are telling that in performance management, basically in the process of performance management, there are several different, or in the in the course of performance management, there are so many different activities that take place. There is this planning activity where the performance standards are planned, for the employee or the human resource in an organization, what to do and how to do all these things. The planning part takes place, that is the planning activity takes place. Next the acting activity takes place, where once the first activity is completed, each and every target or performance standard is communicated to the human resource or the employee, right? Now he acts, right? That means he basically starts performing, right? That is the acting part. And the activity, okay, not acting part, but that is the activity called as act. The third activity that goes on is monitor, where the person who has assigned the specific performance standards monitors, telling that okay, is everything going on according to the standards that I have communicated or according to the schedule in which the actual thing has to go. In this way, monitoring activity happens here. You'll also be having the review activity, where each and everything that has already been done is reviewed, telling that okay, I have given you these standards and you have given me this performance. let's match with that, let's see what, what we can get out. If your performance is good, if your performance is bad, if your performance is just satisfactory, and all these things happens in the review thing. So these are the basic activities that happen in the course of performance management. Now if you convert these activities in the form of a detailed sequenced process, that becomes the process of performance management. Now let's look at the process of performance management. See, this sequence of activities can be expressed as a continuous cycle or the process as shown in the following figure. Okay, so basically, let me zoom out. Is this visible? Okay, so this is basically the performance management process or the performance management cycle. Okay, what happens is, in the first phase or in the first step of the performance management process, what happens is goals set in according to organizational goals. Now what do you mean by this? See, basically organization has certain goals. Now that particular organizational goals can be achieved, or basically the particular organizational goals are to be achieved from different point of views, or from different concepts, or from different departments, or from different dimensions. For example, an organization's goal is to be the number one competitor in the market. Now in order to achieve that big goal, there may be so many different small goals, okay, which are relevant to certain departments. For example, in order to achieve that goal, there may be certain finance goals. That means, the financial, accounting and all these things should be perfect in this way. And there may be certain production goals. Similarly, HR department will be having certain goals, saying that, okay, in order to achieve that particular organizational goal, each and every employee in the organization should give his maximum performance, right? So basically what we are telling is, based on the organizational goals, we take out our appropriate suitable goals that are related to us. So basically, goals set in accordance to the organizational goals. So for example, coming, using the same example, if an organization goal is to become the number one competitor in the market, so from HR point of view, what we have to do, we have to set the goals relating to HR department, telling that, see, in order to achieve that organizational goal of becoming number one competitor in the market, each and every employee should give his maximum performance. So we'll set our goals telling regarding to HR, in this way. This is the first step, where based on the organizational goal, you take out your goals. Okay, now that is the first thing, goals set in accordance to organizational goals. Now standard set for employee. Now see, let's consider the same example where the organization goal is to become the number one competitor in the market. We will be discussing that same example. Okay, so let us assume that we both are, the performance management heads who are responsible for the performance management in an organization. So based on that particular organizational goals, we came to the conclusion, we both discussed and came to the conclusion, telling that, okay, in order to achieve that goal, in human resource, human resource aspect, only in human resource point of view, what we have to do is, or basically what our goal should be is, see, basically we have to ensure that the maximum performance comes out of all the employees. So we will be telling that, see, we have to ensure that each and every employee's performance standards are, exceeding minimum this level. In this way we will be telling. Now what we do, we call each and every employee and we assign certain performance standards to them. That is the next step. So basically, the first thing is goal set in accordance to the organizational goals. Based on the big organizational goals, we break down the big organizational goals and we take out our part, relevant part. Now based on our relevant part, we will actually break down this, this particular our relevant part, and we will set, break down that particular relevant part, relevant goal into different parts, and we will assign different goals to different employees, so that, all the employees, when combined and give out their performance, it will, it will equalize to, our goal that we have taken from the organizational goal. That is the main perspective. Now the third thing that happens is ongoing performance. So basically, by this time you have communicated each and every employee his performance standards, expected, performance standards. Okay, now they will start, performing, or they'll start working. That is ongoing performance. Now feedback is provided frequently. Now you can't just tell that, okay, I have communicated certain targets to the employees and they will work on their own. After, after 1 year or after 1.5 years, then I will come and then I will see if everything is, up to the mark, or each and every person has delivered his part or not. No, generally that doesn't happen in organizations. Basically what happens in organizations is frequent feedback is provided. That means, for example, once in a while the responsible people, or the managers, or, the people who are responsible for, giving these targets or managing the performance, once in a while they'll keep on monitoring them, that is everything going on according to the plan or not, or is anyone doing any mistakes, let us rectify him. In this way they'll keep on monitoring if everything is going according to the schedule or according to the plan or not. Okay, now the next thing that happens is performance appraisal. Now what do you mean by performance appraisal? That is the next class. So basically what happens is, in simple terms, performance appraisal is a meeting, is a performance review meeting that happens once in a while. It may happen once for every 6 months or once for every 1 year. So basically it is a performance review meeting that happens once in a while, where the employee and the employer sit together and they both discuss on the performance, actual performance standards set and actual performance that is delivered, and based on that, they both come to certain conclusions or certain agreements. So that is basically performance appraisal. Okay, so the last thing that happens is HR decision making. As I already told you, based on the outcomes from that particular performance appraisal meeting, certain HR decision making happens. Okay, this again goes back to first thing. Now basically what we have just discussed is the process of performance management, where we told that, see, organizations have big goals. Based on those big goals, we will actually break down that big goals into many small goals, and we will pick our relevant goals. Now from our relevant goals, what we'll do is we will share our relevant goal, our entire relevant goal, to different employees, so that if all the goals of these individual employees combine, they will actually equalize, or they will actually form this our relevant goal that we have taken from the entire organizational goal. So basically the first and foremost step is breaking down part. That means from the big organizational goal we take out small organizational goals. That is the first thing. Second step is where you share this particular small goal, our relevant goal, to different employees. That is the second step. The third step is, once you have communicated the employees their particular goals or their particular performance standards, they'll start performing, and while they are performing, frequent feedback is provided. That is the third step. And once the performance started and you have been providing feedback, it is a time for performance appraisal, where the performance is reviewed, and based on the performance review, certain HR decisions are made. Again this goes to the starting, okay, where again goals are generated, and again all this process repeats. So this is basically the process of performance management that happens in the organizations. Okay, let's see the theory part for this. See, so the first step, goals are set in according to the organizational goals. The second thing is standards set for employee. Now the standards include both behavioral standards as well as results expected. We have talked about this in the initial part, right? That is why I told you that that is the reason why I brought the concept there, because once we enter this performance management standard setting for employee, you'll definitely have this concept. For example, you may have, I already discussed, you may have performance standard relating to both results as well as behaviors, or in some cases you'll be having only related to results. In some cases you'll be having performance standards only related to behaviors. In certain cases you'll be having for both. Okay, now ongoing performance happens and feedback is provided regularly, and performance appraisal happens. Now in performance appraisal, basically performance evaluation and performance appraisal are done here. That means basically his expected performance and his actual performance both are evaluated. That means they are basically compared with each other, and based on the gaps the review is conducted, or basically the communication in the review happens. Now the last thing is HR decision making. Based on the outcome of the meeting, the HR decisions takes place. The HR decides what action should we take. Now this is basically the process of performance management in organizations. So when we started this class, I told you that this particular concept of performance management is a lengthy concept. So we will be breaking down this performance management into different parts, right? So today was the first class where we discussed about what do you mean by performance, and how basically performance are set in, or performance standards are set in organizations. What do you mean by performance management? And then we looked after the basic definitions of performance management for your reference. And then we talked about what are the different other concepts relating to performance management, like what are the purposes of, or basically why should we learn this concept of performance management. And then we moved on to the performance management and its interlinkage with various other concepts or various other subjects. And finally we moved on to this particular thing called as different activities that are involved in performance management and the process of performance management. Okay, now till here we will be stopping this class of our first part of performance management. In the next part we will be continuing from where we have stopped today. That means we will be starting performance appraisal tomorrow. That means we told, right, see, in the process of performance management, there comes this step where performance appraisal happens, right? Now we will be talking about that particular performance appraisal in detail in the next class. So I will stop here. Let's continue in the next class. Thank you.